And I don't even understand what schizophrenia is. And I was asking in fact, the psychiatrist was not in duty when I was admitted. She just came the next day. And she normally comes at a certain time of the week, maybe twice. And she has her sessions with every patient. So, and I would ask her, why was I injected medication for schizophrenia? And then they tell me, Siju, I have chemical imbalance. And then I looked at them like, how do you just look at me and say I have chemical imbalance and inject me? You know, you just have no say.
What did she say when you asked that?
She just said, you have chemical imbalance. You know, they just, an arrogance about it. And she starts scribbling all her own notes. And you know, when you're under duress, you are forced to speak up about yourself, to defend yourself. And I'll say the positive thing about that time is because even when I was there involuntarily, luckily, the counselor listened to some extent. But they were also tied in as far as how long I could stay, because I was at the behest of my mother and her sister, who owns the rehab. So there was no...
Wait, just back up a bit. You're saying your mom and your sister own the rehab center?
My mother, not my mother and her sister. Her sister owns the rehab.
Oh,
so there was no objectivity.
Her sister owns the rehab?
Yes, her sister runs the rehab in the memory of her daughter, who passed on 7 years ago. Her name was Dr. Njeri Mwiga.
But that's surprising, because I would imagine that it's very easy for women to get justice. There are hundreds of NGOs that deal with women, starting with Nairobi Women's Hospital, who claim to be pro-women. There's also FIDA. So I am actually surprised that something like this can go under the radar, and we have such big,
believe it or
even
not,
even NGOs such as Amnesty International. This is actually falls under the purview of human rights abuse.
It does.
Have you spoken to any activists? And we normally see such stories. There's even something I would, next time if we ever talk again about vaccine injury. We've seen with COVID, we were forced to take these shots, and years later we have people reporting complications, health complications. We have young people getting heart attacks. We have young people with conditions they never had prior to getting these vaccines. Vaccine injury is real. We're looking at things like forced hospitalisation that Maureen just described. These are real things. They may not have happened to you, but trust me, if we don't make it a priority, they will affect all of us. So.